The United States is home to some of the most iconic cities in the world, places that people dream about visiting or moving to. But behind the bright lights and exciting lifestyles, many of these places come with price tags that can leave you feeling broke. A lot of the cities on this list are actually decent places, full of culture and opportunity, but the reality is they're far too expensive for most people to comfortably afford. Today we're counting down the top 10 US cities that will rip you off, based on things like cost of living, housing, taxes, and the overall expense of daily life. Starting off our list at number 10, we have Seattle, Washington, the rainy but vibrant city that's become a hub for tech workers and creatives alike. Seattle offers beautiful views of Puget Sound and a thriving coffee culture, but the charm comes at a serious cost. Housing prices have skyrocketed, and the average rent is now well above the national average. Groceries, utilities, and transportation also cost more than in most US cities, and Washington's lack of an income tax is offset by one of the nation's highest sales taxes. Daily life in Seattle can feel like a constant hit to the wallet. Dining out, grabbing a coffee, or even paying for parking adds up quickly. Unless you're earning one of those six-figure salaries from companies like Amazon or Microsoft, Seattle can rip you off without you even realizing it. Sliding into the number 9 spot is Boston, Massachusetts, one of America's oldest and most historic cities. Boston is rich with history and world-class universities, but it also ranks among the most expensive cities in the country. Housing is a huge burden, with median home prices far above the national average and rental rates that rival some of the nation's priciest markets. On top of that, Massachusetts imposes a state income tax, and everyday expenses like groceries and healthcare all cost more than in most other places. Living in Boston means paying premium prices for a city lifestyle. Parking is notoriously expensive, and public transportation, while available, has its own costs. The city is walkable and full of charm, but those who live here pay dearly for the privilege. Coming in at number 8 is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love that has a reputation for being more affordable than New York, but still finds ways to drain your wallet. Philadelphia has a unique mix of history and grit, but what really makes it stand out is its city wage tax. Philadelphia is one of the only major cities in the United States that directly taxes your wages just for working or living there, and the rate is one of the highest of its kind. Combined with Pennsylvania's state income tax, residents give up a big chunk of their paycheck before they even get to spend it. Beyond taxes, the cost of housing has been rising steadily, and utilities are higher than average. While food and entertainment can be cheaper than in New York, it still costs plenty to enjoy life here. Philadelphia may seem like a bargain, but when you add up the taxes, housing, and everyday costs, it has more in common with pricier metros than you'd expect. Landing at number 7, we turn to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital and a city where politics, power, and price all collide. D.C. is one of the most important cities in the world, but living there comes at an incredible cost. Housing is notoriously expensive, with rents that rival major cities on both coasts. Even small apartments can cost a fortune, and the demand for housing close to the capital keeps prices high. On top of that, DC has its own local income tax, which residents pay in addition to federal taxes. The lifestyle in Washington can be glamorous for those working in politics or high-powered careers, but for most residents, daily expenses are overwhelming. Dining out is pricey, groceries are higher than average, and transportation costs add up quickly. The city may be rich in history and opportunity, but it's also one of the most expensive places to build a life. At number 6, we have Chicago, Illinois, the windy city that never fails to blow a hole in your budget. Chicago is one of the largest and most iconic cities in America, but it also has some of the highest combined sales tax rates in the country. Add in hefty property taxes, and residents often feel like they're paying the government at every turn. Housing costs aren't as high as in New York or San Francisco, but they've been rising steadily, and utility bills are higher than the national average thanks to the city's extreme weather. Day-to-day living in Chicago is far from cheap. Commuting can be costly, parking is expensive, and dining out can rival costs in any major coastal city. While Chicago has amazing food and architecture, it's also a city that leaves many struggling to keep up with the constant drain on their finances. Cracking into the top 5 is San Francisco, California, a city that has become almost synonymous with high living costs. San Francisco is beautiful and culturally rich, but it's also home to some of the most expensive housing in the entire country. The median home price is well into the 7 figures, and rental rates are among the highest in the world. The tech industry has brought enormous wealth to the city, but it's also pushed out many who simply can't afford to keep up. Even beyond housing, San Francisco is punishingly expensive. Median rent for a one-bedroom sits near $3,000 a month, one of the highest in the country. The city also faces a visible homelessness crisis, with thousands living on the streets despite huge public spending. San Francisco might look like a golden city on the bay, but for many, it feels like paying luxury prices just to get by. Claiming the number 4 spot is San Diego, California, the sunny coastal paradise that comes with a price tag just as heavy as its ocean views. San Diego has incredible weather and beaches that attract people from all over the country, but it also has some of the highest housing costs outside of San Francisco and Los Angeles. Rent is steep, and buying a home requires a small fortune. Utilities, groceries, and healthcare also trend well above the national average. Living in San Diego feels like living in a postcard, but you pay for that postcard life every single day. From high gas prices to pricey entertainment, San Diego might be paradise, but it's paradise that comes with a penalty. Sliding into the number 3 spot is Los Angeles, California, the city of angels that's notorious for draining bank accounts as quickly as it dazzles with its glamour. Los Angeles is massive and exciting, but it's also one of the most expensive cities to live in. Housing costs are among the highest in the country, and even modest apartments rent for premium prices. On top of that, car culture dominates the city, meaning residents spend heavily on gas, insurance, and maintenance, all of which are more expensive in LA than the national average. The daily lifestyle in Los Angeles adds up quickly. From dining out to entertainment, everything costs more. Parking fees are outrageous, and utilities are inflated by California's higher energy costs. While LA might be the land of dreams, it's also the land where your wallet never seems to catch a break. At number 2, we have Honolulu, Hawaii, a tropical paradise that also holds the title for the highest housing costs in the entire nation. Honolulu is stunning, with beaches, mountains, and a laid-back island lifestyle. But the cost of living here is higher than anywhere else in the United States. Housing prices are astronomical, with median home values far outpacing even San Francisco and New York. Rent is equally punishing, and everyday goods like groceries and fuel cost significantly more because nearly everything has to be shipped to the islands. While Honolulu offers a dream lifestyle for those who can afford it, most residents feel squeezed by the constant financial burden. Even basics like milk and bread cost double what you'd pay on the mainland. Honolulu may be paradise, but financially it can feel more like a trap. And finally, at number 1, we have New York City, the city that never sleeps. New York is the ultimate U.S. city with unmatched culture, opportunity, and energy, but it's also the most expensive city in the country to live in. Housing costs are legendary, with median rents and home prices among the very highest in the world. Taxes are high, from property to state and city income taxes, and nearly every aspect of life is more expensive in New York than anywhere else. Day-to-day life in New York City can feel like one constant transaction. A quick meal can cost a small fortune. Transportation isn't cheap, and entertainment of any kind comes at a premium. For all its greatness, New York is the ultimate rip-off city, the place where dreams are made, but wallets are broken. So there you have it, the top 10 US cities that will rip you off. From Seattle's rainy costs to New York's non-stop expenses, each of these cities offers plenty of culture and opportunity, but they all come with price tags that make daily life a challenge. Whether it's sky-high housing, punishing taxes, or overpriced basics, these cities prove that sometimes the American dream comes at a very steep cost. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.